I wanted to share something that happened to me a couple months ago while I was driving. It was a unique experience for me. Actually, come to think of it, I was in my wife's car. So like I said, I was driving along, and actually, come to think of it, it was daytime. Okay, daytime good, wrong car again. How'd I get back here? No! Come on. Okay, there we go. Come to think of it, I was wearing a different shirt and I was driving. And that's taking a little too far. 2 days after Nina was born, I was driving this car. We'd actually just gone to see Nina, me and my mother and Lillian, Duncan, and Kai. And we were going out to lunch. We were going, well, it doesn't matter. We were going down to C-Jack, which is one of those conveyor belt sushi places, which I've never taken the video to. I should sometime. And we turned the corner just before the restaurant, and there was an old man struggling to lift his scooter. Now, it wasn't one of those small 50cc scooters. It was a big engine scooter. I don't know, 250 or whatever. So it's a much heavier scooter. This man was in his 70s or so, and he could not get his scooter to stand upright. I guess when he stopped, he'd lost his balance. He hadn't gotten trapped under the scooter, thankfully, but he couldn't stand up again. He couldn't get going again. He dropped a few things on the road. What really surprised me was that nobody was stopping to help him. There were a line of 5 cars behind him, and no one was getting out to help. In fact, people were trying to edge around him so they could keep going. I stopped the car. I drove down the street a little bit to a place I could stop the car. I pulled over. I stopped the car. I ran back, picked up the scooter for him, and walked it off the street into this parking lot of some store. And he picked up the few things that had fallen on the ground, a bag or something. I can't remember exactly what he had, and walked over after me. And there was some cable hanging out we tucked in, and he thanked me profusely and bowed to me so deep. The guy was bent at 90 degrees. I've never had anyone bow that deeply to me. He was really happy I'd come to help him. I was shocked that none of the Japanese people around had helped at all. No one had got out. They just tried to pass him. He wasn't someone to stop and help. He was an inconvenience. What really shocked me, actually, is that after I told Kumiko that no one had stopped to help this guy, she said, yeah, that's just not something Japanese people would do, stop and help a stranger like that. And talking to a couple other people in the class, they said the same thing. They'd say, oh yeah, Japanese people don't help out like that. I couldn't believe it. I've been living here for more than a decade, and I've met some very nice and very wonderful people, and you can't say no Japanese people would stop and help. But that day, I saw no Japanese people stop and help. I was quite surprised at that. Don't get me wrong, I love Japan, I love living here, but it just really surprised me. Like I've said before, when you live in a foreign country, not every experience will be a positive one. I was a little disappointed no one was helping him. No, I was very disappointed no one was helping him.